Thank you, Mike, for that very warm intro. I've been dreading this speech for over a year now. No, not because that's when Pete asked me to give a speech. That actually happened just days ago in true Pete fashion. But over a year ago is when Pete gave a beautiful speech at my rehearsal dinner that was so nicely done and sincere that it left me in tears. So he set a really high bar. We'll see how this goes. As Mike pointed out, I've had the distinct privilege of knowing Pete for over 20 years. Pete was the year ahead of me at Belmont Hill. I then followed him to Georgetown and ultimately moved to New York City, where we've been living ever since. Some have called it a close and loyal friendship. Others have called me a stalker. Although Pete and I were friendly at Belmont Hill, it wasn't until Georgetown's accepted student weekend, my senior year of high school, when I decided to stay with Pete instead of the dorms, that I'd say our friendship really blossomed. I learned a lot about Pete that weekend. For starters, I got to witness firsthand Pete's hard work and dedication to the crew team, which I found was basically non-existent, as he prioritized sneaking me into bars until 2 a.m. the night before his race. If Pete had spent 1/10 the time on crew as he does his new obsession with golf, Hailey probably would have been marrying an Olympian tomorrow. I also saw how well Pete got along with people. Specifically, I think our behavior that weekend put the nail in the coffin of Pete and his freshman year roommate's relationship. We didn't get off on the best first foot when Pete introduced his roommate, who then immediately corrected Pete's pronunciation of his name. Understandable frustration on his part, as they had lived together for 6 months at that point. By the end of the weekend, I was told that they had spoken their last words of the year. For someone who can talk to a wall, leave it to Pete to find a way to live with a person for months while exchanging 0 words. Sometimes I feel like he's living in his own Seinfeld episode. Needless to say, we had an amazing time foreboding the next 15 years of our friendship. Excuse me. I stopped my college search and decided to follow my friend to Georgetown. When I got there, Pete took me under his wing. I was always impressed how he could float seamlessly between friend groups. Everyone knew who Tall P was. He was charismatic and charming, and he was a great friend. I think it's pretty telling and amazing how many people think they are Pete's best friend, hence the 17 groomsmen. He had a way with people and making them feel comfortable. I always looked up to Pete and was proud to tell people that he was my friend. You know, with Pete, there are 2 sides of our relationship. An incredible amount of fun with fierce loyalty and caring for each other. Pete's always a friend that I can confide in or go to when I need advice. Someone I can always count on. Someone I consider family. It's not surprising that Hailey shares many of these same qualities. I knew it was serious with Hailey when I hadn't seen Pete for a couple months, because it seemed that he had Hailey's friend's birthday or a just because costume party every weekend. It's great to officially meet you all, by the way. I thought, did we find someone that has as many friends as Pete does? But it's so clear that Hailey has a supportive group of people that love her and care so much about her. And I remember walking away from your guys' engagement just proud and happy that my friend Pete was going into such a loving group. Pete, Hailey is an amazing woman. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She takes great care of you. And putting aside our groomsmen's outfits for this wedding, simple decisions that would take you forever have seemingly gotten slightly easier. She has the patience of someone that you share your birthday with, Jesus Christ. Collectively, on behalf of our friends, we couldn't have asked for someone better in the world for you. Now, when you've been married as long as I have, with months and months of experience, you know when a couple is just right for each other. I think I can speak on behalf of all of us here when I say there's no doubt in my mind that Pete and Hailey are the perfect couple. What has been even more special is how close Hailey has gotten with all of Pete's friends. And although we're getting to that stage in life where people are married, having kids, changing jobs, moving, I used to think maybe the best of our fun days were behind us, but this new chapter has gotten me more excited for our life ahead. Because if the past 20 years has told you anything, where Pete goes, I go. Pete, it was an honor to have you alongside me to watch me marry the love of my life, and I can't wait to do the same with you tomorrow. Cheers.
I love you. You're making me cry. I love you.
Jack Dumpy. Who knew you were the one that brought me to tears?
I love that. That was incredible.
That was so
so
insane.
Good.
Oh my
Jack,